Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a deep dive into a powerful sales qualification framework that separates the pros from the amateurs, and it's called MEDDIC. If you're selling complex solutions, especially in the business-to-business space, you need a process that keeps you laser focused on the right opportunities. No more wasting time chasing unqualified leads or being ghosted after a demo. That's where MEDDIC comes in. Let's break it down letter by letter, and I'll show you how to use each part effectively in your sales calls. M is for metrics. This is where it all starts. Metrics are the measurable results your solution can deliver. So let's say you're selling a CRM system. Don't just talk about the features, talk about what it does. Ask something like, if we could reduce your team's time spent on manual data by 30%, what impact would that have on your quarterly targets? You're helping them visualize real value in pounds, percentages, or time saved. That's compelling. Top tip, tie your metrics to things they care about: revenue growth, cost savings, compliance, risk reduction, whatever keeps them up at night. E is for economic buyer. Now let's talk about the economic buyer, the person who holds the purse strings. You might have a great conversation with an IT manager or operations lead, but if they can't sign the check, you're not speaking to the decision maker. Try asking, who ultimately needs to approve this investment? Or more directly, who signs off on purchases like this? And once you've found them, don't just rely on your champion to deliver the pitch for you. Find a way to speak to that buyer directly. Even a brief intro call can make all the difference. Here's the thing, you don't want to reach the end of a sales cycle only to hear, I need to run this up the ladder. Find the ladder early. D is for decision criteria. Next up, decision criteria. This is about understanding exactly what your prospect is basing the decision on. Is it price, speed of development, data security, customer support? Ask, what are the key factors you'll be using to evaluate different vendors? Or when you compare solutions, what matters most to you? Once you know the criteria, tailor your proposal accordingly. They're focused on scalability. Don't waste time bashing on about your flashy dashboard. Lead with how you scale with growing teams. Real world examples. If you were up against a competitor offering a cheaper solution and your prospect says uptime is critical, highlight your 99.99% availability and 24/7 support. Speak to what they care about. And D for the decision process. Now that you know how they'll choose, you need to know how they'll decide, the actual steps involved. This is the decision process. Ask questions like, what does your internal buying process usually look like? Who needs to sign off, and are there any more formal steps like procurement, reviews, or legal approvals? This is gold. It helps you forecast accurately and avoid those dreaded last-minute delays. Here's an example. If they say, we'll need legal to review the contract, you can respond, brilliant. Would it help if I introduced your legal team to our contracts department early, so we avoid back and forth later? That's how you stay in control of the sale, by understanding and supporting their process. I is for identifying pain. This is where your deal gets its fuel. You must identify the pain that your solution solves, but don't stop at surface level pain. You're not a paramedic, you're a surgeon. Dig deep. Ask, what challenges are you facing in this area right now? What's the impact of that on your business or team? What happens if this isn't resolved? For example, if you're selling supply chain software and they say their current process is a bit slow, dig in. Can you give me an example of when that caused a problem? How much is that delay costing you in hours or lost revenue? The deeper the pain, the stronger the motivation to act. People don't buy software, they buy relief from frustration. Lastly, C is for champion. This is your inside ally, someone within the prospect's company who believes in your solution and is willing to advocate for it. You can spot a true champion because they give you insight, help you navigate politics, and push things forward internally. Don't assume someone is a champion just because they're friendly. A real champion has influence and a vested interest in your success. Test their commitment with a soft ask. Would you feel comfortable sharing this with the CFO? If I sent you a case study for a similar company, would you be willing to pass it along to the other stakeholders? If they hesitate, they may not be your champion yet. Wrapping it all together. So how do you actually use MEDDIC in a real sales call? Here's how. Let's say you're on a discovery call with a head of operations in a logistics firm. You'd be guiding the conversation like this. Metrics. If we could shave 15% off your delivery costs, how would that impact your margin this quarter? Economic buyer. Who else, apart from yourself, would be involved in signing off a solution like this? Decision criteria. What are the most important things you'll be looking for in a platform? Decision process. Once you've found the right fit, what does your approval process look like? Identifying pain. What happens today if a delivery gets delayed, and how often does that happen? Champion. Would you be open to helping me get this in front of the executive team if it aligns with your goals? It's not a script, it's a structure. Using MEDDIC as a framework to qualify deals properly, control the sales cycle, and close faster with fewer surprises. Right, that's the lot for today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a like. And let me know in the comments how you use MEDDIC in your own sales process. And if you've got any questions about how to apply this framework to your specific industry, drop them below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Remember, in sales, you're either qualifying or you're wasting your time. Make sure you're doing the former. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.